For those who want to skip the storyline segment, here's the timestamp. I don't typically do this, but it's a pretty long segment, and I know that there are some people who might not like my storyline segments, so I'm just being considerate. But if you do like the storyline segments, then sit back and enjoy. And that's how he got the Miraculouses back.
So you're saying an MS Paint robot took the Miraculouses, fused them with a couple of toys, and used them to mess with you? But then they came to life and they tried to take your Akuma?
Yep.
You have a really weird life.
Well, considering I've had the security invaded by a villain from Arkham Asylum who knows more about hacking than he should, my review show invaded by the spoiled brat, that is the mayor's daughter, and a flying chainsaw nearly cutting off my head, calling my life weird an understatement is an understatement in of itself.
Wow.
I know.
So what are you doing right now?
Nothing. I'm just finishing up a script for a review of 2 episodes.
Episodes?
Yeah, I'm reviewing the last 2 episodes of a TV show, and it's going to be stressful for me, so I'm gonna need all the good luck I can get.
What TV show are you reviewing?
Don't ask. You might have an existential crisis.
Oh, okay.
So, do you think we'll ever meet in the future?
Who knows, maybe. Do you have enough money to fly over to France?
Sadly, no. But I promise I will. I promise.
Well, I'll be waiting for you.
Thanks. Anyways, I gotta go. It was nice talking to you, Lila.
It was nice talking to you as well. Good luck on the review.
Thanks. I'm gonna need it.
Okay. See ya, Hansi.
See ya, Volpe. You are one lucky huntsman.
Let me make this promise to you. No matter who wants to harm you, Ladybug and Cat Noir will do.
I can't talk about that scene. I just can't. Hey, Austin. How's your call with Lila? Oh, hey, theater critic. Yeah, it went pretty well, though Lila started to sound a bit more like Ladybug halfway through. Huh. I see you got your tie back. Indeed I did. Turns out it was in the theater room of all things. Hey, did you get the Origins review script done? Yeah, there's just something I have to tell you. What is it? Remember that speech scene? Yeah. What about it? I'm not gonna cover it. What? I know it sounds crazy, but I just can't do this scene! Come on, dude, you gotta talk about it! It's one of the most important scenes in the entire series! I realize that, but I have things to say about it that I really don't want to say! People are going to be complaining if you skip out on the scene! Well, people will be complaining about my opinions if I do talk about it! I set up a trap for myself, theater critic! If I don't talk about it, people will complain, and if I do talk about it, I will complain, and then other people will complain! And personally, I'd rather keep these opinions to myself. It may not yield any better results, but for the sake of my sanity, that's the option I'm going with. That doesn't make sense. Look, I just don't care! Alright? I don't! I know how important it is, but I just can't. I refuse. And I'd rather keep my other reasons to myself as well. So just go back to your room and excuse me while I start on this review. Alright. So you'd rather be a cop-out than explain your unpopular opinion without caring what anybody else thinks. Okay then. Go ahead and skip it. But don't say I didn't warn you. doing? Okay. Calm down, Austin. Just ignore it, and you'll be fine. Well, he asked for this.
Warning, the following video will contain spoilers for both episodes of the Miraculous Ladybug Origin Special. If you want my recommendation, make sure you've seen the previous episodes before watching these episodes, then you can return to the review. But if you've already seen all of Season 1 or don't care about spoilers, then sit back and enjoy.
Let's finish this! Alright. This is it. This is the big one. Let's make it count. Alright. In 5, 4, 3, 2. Hello everybody and welcome to the season finale of the Miraculous... Come on, we just started! Hello?
Austin? I need to talk to you.
Tomato Boy? What is it?
Well, you remember our phone call last time?
Yeah? What about it?
Well, that last part, it got me thinking. Is my existence an illusion?
Nathaniel, now's not the time to talk about it. I'm in the middle of a review.
Oh, I see. Wait, what are you reviewing?
The first video's uploaded to the Lady blog.
Oh, cool! Did you do Ladybug's speech yet? I remember seeing that happen. It was awesome!
Nathaniel?
Huh?
I am not doing that speech. People are going to crucify me, shoot me, stab me, lynch me, or anything else to ensure that I am dead.
Man, you gotta talk about it! That's what made the Lady blog take off.
I know and I don't care. I am not doing it!
Do it! Do it! Do it!
I ship you with Chloe. That's enough out of him. Hello everybody and welcome to the season finale of the Miraculous Marathon! It's been 2 years since I started this series and let me tell you, this is easily the most fun I've ever had. Oh god, these ears are gonna be the death of me! Any minute, stormy weather, I'm growing impatient hair! I got a test as a controller for a gun and I'm not afraid to use it! This episode is messed up. What is it with these songs having the power to become homicidal maniacs? What kind of heroes are you guys? What is the point of this? How is this a thing? How does that even work? Okay, how does that even work? How does any of that work? Why am I even reviewing this? Okay, maybe I've been through hell and lost a few brain cells, but I still had a lot of fun doing it, and hey, it all paid off. I amassed over 500 subscribers, I finally showed off my cosplay, collaborated with other YouTubers, made a few cameos, met a few more voice actors, one of them twice. I talked to the English voice director, dedicated a review to him, got his approval, was followed by 2 of the voice actors from the show, and I got to tell one of the voice actors about my obsession with Nickelback. I am not even trying to hide how much of a sore loser I am right now.
And as of now, I have met Keith Silverstein again, and I've given him the Miraculouses. My life is complete!
However, after all of this, we come to the finale of Season 1, and we finish off this marathon with the beginning of the story. And just as a side note, why are American distributors putting these episodes in the middle of the season? Yeah, this is another reason why I wanted to go by the French order for the second half of Season 1. Because for whatever reason, Nickelodeon thought it would be a good idea to release these episodes right after the summer-long hiatus, and everyone else seems to follow suit. They're released as episodes 15 through 16 on Netflix, and they're the first 2 episodes that you see on the 3rd volume. I don't care what anybody says, these episodes were made to be finales. So if you have yet to complete season 1 and are thinking about watching these episodes, save them for last! I'll explain why once I get to my final thoughts, but for now, let's just sit back, have a look at the Origins episodes, and finish this marathon. Alright, Miraculous Ladybug, bring it on! So we begin the episode with some narration about the Miraculouses, basically telling us how these pieces of jewelry were used by heroes for many centuries, and pointing out how the Ladybug earrings and Black Cat ring are the most powerful of the Miraculouses, stating that whoever wields them shall hold absolute power. No, I am not going to use these. I have no reason to. We then find out that the thing that's telling us all of this info is a butterfly Kwami named Nuru, voiced by Ben Diskin? That Kwami's a guy? Well, okay, in reality, the Kwamis don't have a real gender. They're just magical beings, but they do have pronouns regardless, and in the case of Nuru, he goes by a he, except for the Turkish, Korean, Latin American Spanish, and Hebrew dubs, where Nuru goes by a her. Though in the Hebrew dubs case, Nuru only went by a her for season 1. Yeah. Anyways, we see Nuru in the captivity of a mysterious man. A very strange, mysterious man that we totally have no idea who he is. I wonder who... It's Gabriel. No, I'm not gonna say for season 2. I mean, it's clearly Gabriel. I mean, Zach didn't even try to hide. It's clearly Gabriel! Yeah, it's pretty obvious that Gabriel's the one behind all of this. If the hints in Simon Says and Volpina weren't dead giveaways, not to mention his photo of Emily, then their eye color, behavior, and the fact that they're both voiced by Keith Silverstein in a similar fashion basically spells it out to us that they're the same. Admittedly, Hawkmoth's cowl does hide his face better than the Heroes of Paris, and he does make his voice sound slightly more evil than Gabriel's. Much like what I do with the Huntsman voice, but a bit less obvious.
I've never noticed your earrings before. They really are quite unique.
Don't forget our deal. I feel Ladybug and Cat Noir nearby.
So now we know his true identity, but I have to ask, why? Why would Gabriel do something like this just to get a pair of earrings and a ring? Well, as I said in my Puppeteer review, I had a theory about why he would do this, and all of this stems from Emily Agreste. Now, as I stated before, Emily vanished, and I presumed that it would be during her trip to Tibet, seeing as there's a brochure of it next to her portrait in Volpina. And so if Gabriel had absolute power, he could find some way to bring her back. Now, part of my theory has been denied, which I'll explain if I ever get to season 2, but the general idea remains. Gabriel doesn't want to rule the world or anything, he just wants his wife back. And if that doesn't paint a whole new picture of Hawkmoth for you, keep in mind that he was the same person who got Nino akumatized. So he inadvertently gave Adrien the birthday party he would have wanted. And Adrien thought he was a monster. Come on, again? Hello?
Are you seriously skipping over the speech scene?
Riddler? How did you get this number? And how do you even know about that?
You announced it on Twitter and posted it on your phone number so people can complain about it. And plus, I'm kind of locked up in Arkham right now, since Batman stopped my latest scheme. And believe it or not, Arkham gets pretty good Wi-Fi, and they let us check our social media.
Theater critic. Look, Riddler, I am not covering the speech scene!
If you're willing to reveal the identities of the heroes of Paris, what's stopping you from talking about it?
Oh, I don't know, maybe blind followers of Ladybug who will give me crap for insulting her?
Really? What's so bad about Ladybug?
She's the reason why you tried to prove me wrong and embarrassed yourself in front of everyone. Oh, Chloe didn't tell you, did she? Yeah, Ladybug was the one to put her up to it. She told her not to believe anything I said, and had her contact you so there wouldn't be any suspicion. She's the reason why nobody respects you.
I need to go. Think she can run out on me? Think she could just take my money and go? Oh no! Oh no! Your Highness, that is not happening. Not today. Oh no! Oh, not to me. You don't do that to the Riddler. Not to Nigma.
That's enough out of him.
Oh, and just as a side note, remember that peacock charm next to Emily's portrait in Volpina? Yeah, that was one of the Miraculouses, so Hawkmoth has 2 of them now. Yay.
So with the Moth Miraculous in his hand, Gabriel decides that the only way to lure in the superheroes and the Miraculouses is to create supervillains.
But Master, the Miraculous are not meant to be used for evil purposes.
Bloody, anytime your master mentions creating villains, you're basically screwed. You might as well try your best to run away or give up and change minds already.
I am your master now, and you must obey me.
I can't come up with any jokes for this. Like, I almost feel sorry for Nuru. It passed. So Gabriel transforms and we get the introduction to the villain of the series. Fear him, kneel before him, and beg for mercy! Or you could just cut your losses and join him. It wouldn't hurt to be on his side. Take it from me. So as this is happening, we see a turtle Kwame trying to get this guy's attention and...
Master, chanting. It's all part of the treatment.
Then how did your voice get high-pitched all of a sudden? Wait, I still need my backpack!
And in case you're wondering, yes, Kwames can sense each other whenever one is in danger. I really can't find another explanation for this other than...
Because it's magic?
So the Kwame Ways, voiced by Christopher Smith, tells the guy we saw in Gamer, Animan, Antibug, and The Vanisher, Princess Fragrance, and the end of Volpina that I told you to remember, Master Wang Fu, voiced by Paul St. Peter, that the Moth Miraculous is being used for evil. Yes, this guy knows about the Miraculouses, mostly because he's the keeper of the Miraculouses, and he's even the Miraculous holder. Though he can't really use it because back pain.
You are still young. I'm only 186.
Jesus Christ, you're older than Crush from Finding Nemo! No, really.
How old are you? 150, dude, and still young.
So because he can't fight because he's 186 and still young for some reason...
Because it's magic?
We're going to be seeing that clip more often here, are we? He decides that he needs some help. Meanwhile, we get introduced to Marinette, who's about to be late for her first day back at school. And let's just say, she's off to a rough start. She loses some macarons for school while trying to save Master Fu from getting run over.
This will be important for later on, so keep it in mind.
And why are these people not moving?
Chloe is in her class for the 4th year in a row, and she has to be moved to a new seat, and she loses more, if not all of her macarons. Basically, I could summarize most of the beginning of the day with this couple of seconds.
I'm sure everything will be just fine.
This episode is tempting me to explode. Could something good happen?
What are you gonna do, super newbie? Shoot beans at me with your glasses? Wouldn't you like to know?
Okay, that is kind of funny. Yeah, Alia's introduction is really well done here. I honestly love how she's able to stand up to Chloe like that and not put up with any of her insults. Not to say that the other characters' introductions are bad or pale in comparison, no, they're pretty good as well. Chloe and Sabrina make you hate their guts right away and establish themselves as Marinette's rivals pretty well. And I know I said Marinette's bad luck made me want to explode, but at least they did a nice job in making her situation relatable, showing off how much of a klutz she is, and yet making her likable enough for anyone to feel for her. Of course I don't sympathize with her. Well, okay, I do and I don't at the same time, but I'm not gonna get too deep into that. Still, I can appreciate the effort the team put in with her introduction. But these are just the girls. So what about Adrien? Well, just to get this out of the way, I think that his introduction is probably the best in the episode. I am not kidding. Right from the get-go, we see him running to school with Natalie and Gorilla trying to stop him.
You know what your father wants, but this is what I want to do.
Okay, I kinda like his mentality here. For once. But after helping Master Fu get his cane,
remember this as well.
They take him back regardless of his wishes so he can be homeschooled.
Please don't tell my father about all this.
They're gonna tell him anyways, aren't they?
You are not going to school. I've already told you.
Just as I thought! And it's here where we see Gabriel's overprotectiveness and strictness in full force, as he won't even allow his son to go to school like everyone else.
Because you are not like everyone else. You are my son.
Now, I really like this part of the story, not just because it establishes Adrien's relationship with his father pretty well, but it's a nice subversion of expectations. You would have expected him to go to school right away, but no, here comes the dragon gentleman to keep the damsel in distress locked up in the most expensive room in the most elegant manner. Okay, I should probably move on to the akumatized villain before it turns into Shrek. And man, this has gotta be the fastest we've ever seen anybody get akumatized in the show. So Kim gives Ivan a note, Ivan yells at Kim and threatens to kill him, and he gets promptly sent to the principal's office, leaving Hawkmoth a great opportunity to send an Akuma to make him his first minion.
Fly away, my little Akuma, and evilize him!
And I might as well use this opportunity to correct a mistake that I consistently made in the Horrificator review. I kept pronouncing Ivan's name Yvonne. I have no idea what caused this. Maybe it was the pronunciation of Milen. Maybe I was misremembering the episode. Who knows?
StoneHeart, I am Hawkmoth. I give you the power to seek revenge on those who have wronged you.
Okay, Hawkmoth.
So the Akuma possesses his crumpled up piece of paper and turns him into StoneHeart. And he's okay. He's just okay. All he is a giant rock golem. He's slow but is incredibly strong, and he grows larger and stronger whenever he gets hurt. I never thought I'd ever see a villain that is just as lackluster, if not more so, than Reflecta. But I can forgive this guy because he was the first villain, so I'll just quit complaining and get to the introduction of the the heroes of Paris. So Marinette makes it back home and Adrien makes it to his room. I would say home, but we all know he ain't getting out of there anytime soon, even though I am clearly lying for the sake of being mean to a fictional character. And soon enough they find a small box, which might as well be a mini Ark of the Covenant. But instead of melting their faces off, they're greeted by two floating creatures. One being a cat, and the other being what's supposed to be a ladybug, but I don't freaking see it! And while Adrien takes Plag's presence surprisingly well, Marinette... Master Fu, are you sure you made the right decision? So the Kwamis tell the two about themselves, their powers, and the Akuma, but not before Plagues tries to eat everything in sight. Now I'm starting to question why I prefer this Kwami. But no offense to Max Middleman. So Adrien and a reluctant Marinette put on the Miraculouses and transform for the first time. And whereas Marinette is in panic mode and we get a new transformation sequence, Adrien transforms like it was his lifelong dream, and we have the same transformation sequence he always has. After Bubbler and Stormy Weather, of course. So Ladybug, despite lacking the confidence or willingness to be a hero, decides to test out her amazing super yo-yo thingy. Her words, not mine!
Apparently this amazing super yo-yo thingy?
And let's just say she's off to a great start.
Well, hey there. Nice of you to drop in.
Master Fu, are you really sure you made the right decision? So after that happy little accident, the heroes of Paris decide to introduce themselves.
I bet you're the partner my Kwami told me about. I'm, Cat Noir, yeah.
What you see is what you get. Just a cat who will make women fall in love with me, and guys so jealous that they'll want to beat me into a bloody pulp. Oh, come on! Hello?
Come on, Austin. Just talk about the speech scene.
Julz? I thought you didn't care about Miraculous!
Well, that's not entirely true. I just stopped doing reaction theater videos of Miraculous Ladybug because the dang Illustrator video kept getting copyright claimed.
Where's the fair use, YouTube?
Look, you've already bailed out of our collaboration, and I'm not letting you bail out of talking about this scene.
Do you want me to get away with emails telling me to kill myself?
Do you want me to ship you with Cat Noir?
Oh, do that all you want. I fully embrace the ship. I mean, I still like Volpina a lot more, but I have no trouble in saying that I have the hots for the blonde boy in the cat suit. You know who I ship you with?
Unless it's Shiro from Voltron, Nightcrawler, Superman, Captain Jack Harkness, Captain America, Victor, or Big Brother Balat, I'd rather not.
I ship you with Bakugo.
If you value your life, you will never call this number again.
You're the one that called. After the two get to know each other a bit less, they head to the stadium where StoneHeart is about to wreak havoc.
It's not very nice to pick on people who are smaller than you.
I guess you're talking about yourself.
Okay, StoneHeart may be lacking in powers, but he more than makes up for that with his personality. I mean, like I said in my Timebreaker review, I enjoy banter like this between heroes and villains. Like, I don't know what it is about it. Maybe it gives villains a bit more humanity and a sense of humor? I don't know.
What are you waiting for, Super Redbug?
Super Redbug. So the spotted flea wasn't her first name after all. Eventually, Ladybug saves Cat Noir and warns him that every bit of damage will make him bigger and stronger. So Cat Noir suggests using their powers and activates his cataclysm for the first time, only to waste it on that soccer net before realizing it's a one-time use. Our hero, ladies and gentlemen.
I guess I was a little excited about my new life.
Oh yeah, getting your butt kicked, being possessed and trapped in nearly every episode, and having to put up with my snarky remarks is something you should totally be excited for. So Ladybug uses her lucky charm, and when she's a minute time!
Super power?
Ladybug then uses her
power of observation,
much better than Alia's, to find out that the Akuma is in whatever StoneHeart is holding.
It's like the Russian dolls. The object isn't on him, it's hidden in his fist.
I don't think that a matryoshka, or those Russian dolls of decreasing size placed inside one another, much like those troikas from Toy Story, would be the best thing to compare a stone hidden in a rock golem's fist. Okay, this part is a bit unscripted, but upon really thinking about it, I take that back. It actually is kind of like a matryoshka. The Akuma is trapped inside of the stone, which is trapped inside of the fist. So it really is kind of like that. So she puts the hose inside of the wetsuit, throws Cat Noir over to StoneHeart to grab him, then swings over to StoneHeart so he grabs her as well as the wetsuit, dropping the rock in the process. She then tells Alia to turn on the hose, causing the wetsuit to expand and causing StoneHeart to release Ladybug. Ladybug runs over to the stone and breaks it, releasing the Akuma. Insert status quo. Oh, she lets it go free. And she doesn't turn everything back to normal this time. Yeah, they do the fist bump, but that's it. So after consulting with Ivan about the note, and after he asks,
"Hey, how do you know my name, miss?"
Ivan, whatever you do, do not ask Ladybug that question. I had to learn the hard way.
Miraculous Ladybug.
Ladybug leaves so Ivan doesn't find out her secret, but not before revealing her new name to Alia.
Ladybug. Call me Ladybug.
And so, the most egregious superhero Oh my god, I'm getting tempted again. So Ladybug heads back home and everything seems all well and good. Right? Well, remember way back in my Bubble review that I'll show what happens when Ladybug doesn't purify the Akuma? Yep! The Akuma multiplies and turns everyone into StoneHeart statues. Why?
Because it's
Mitosis! It's because of mitosis! That's the only explanation I can give to this because, quite frankly, because magic is way too stupid for this instance, so let's move on!
If Ivan's emotions become negative again, then the Akuma will turn him back into StoneHeart. He'll control the stone beings and bring them to life to serve as his army!
Wow. Wait a minute. So, if Ladybug managed to destroy the watch, but failed to purify my Akuma, then that must mean... Nah. I'd rather have a bunch of troubled souls join my team to show Ladybug how terrible of a hero— Oh god, I need to learn how to shut up!
See, Tiki? I'm not cut out to be a superhero. I'm only gonna keep messing up.
I am not going to say anything about this just yet. If I even do say anything about it. And so she renounces her role as Ladybug and takes off the earrings, causing Tiki to vanish. Then the episode ends with Hawkmoth enjoying this victory and the window closing, leaving us on a cliffhanger for the next episode. Yes, we are only halfway through the Origin Special, and we're on the season finale. The final episode that I have to look at for this marathon, at least until season 2. Almost everything has been established, Paris is in peril, and Ladybug has given up. How will everything get resolved? Will the love square ever blossom? How does Ladybug get the confidence to be the hero of Paris? Can I keep my credibility? Well, we're about to find out right now. So let's sit back, enjoy part 2, and finally end this marathon! So this episode picks up where the last one left off, with Adrien running out to feed Plagsome Camembert, and Marinette trying to live her normal life.
The best way of helping them is to show them that we're not scared.
Well, I wasn't afraid of Akumas and I turned out perfectly fine. Where did that extra Coke can come from?
But what if Ladybug fails?
Then I'd come and save you. Super Baker to the rescue!
Punching the dough out of villains and making bread out of them since 2016. Okay, I should probably move on to a more interesting topic, like seeing how Ivan is holding up.
Once a monster, always a monster.
Of course the same could be said about you, Chloe! Seriously, I have no idea why people say that Lila is worse than her. The way I see it, Lila just wants to be treated like a celebrity, whereas Chloe wants to be treated like the Queen of Paris, when Paris isn't even a monarchy anymore! All that's missing now is a piece of bubblegum, man! She just filled out every single page in the How to Be a Spoiled Brat novel written by You Should Know Me by now. Okay, the real reason why Ivan is upset is because he doesn't know how to tell Mylène that he loves her.
Go talk to her.
I'm no good with words anyway.
Little does Marinette know that this will be her later on. So Marinette suggests to Ivan that he should confess his feelings for her in a different way.
I could write her a song?
That's a great idea.
I'm expecting this to end horribly in 3, 2, 1.
Oh!
Mylène, be serene!
Still better than a mirror. Of course, Mylène flees from the screen metal garbage, causing Ivan to be upset and enraged, leaving Hawkmoth a great opportunity to re-akumatize Ivan and turn him back into StoneHeart. And I'll just skip his akumatization for the sake of time and move on.
Rule Ivan.
Wow. Even as a rock golem, or stone golem I should say, he still has the decency to say present when he's called on. Who knew villains could be so polite? So he grabs Mylène, telling her his intentions, and then grabs Chloe because again, screw Chloe. Alia tells Marinette to come with her, but Marinette tells Alia she's better off without them, encouraging her to take her bag, which secretly contains the box so she can be the new and better Ladybug. But Alia ignores it and leaves because fate. Insert transformation sequence here, and Cat Noir attacks StoneHeart, which does nothing to help the poor soul and the rich soul.
Ugh, super incompetent, you mean?
You're tempting me to lose my mind, Chloe. Not wise. Are you serious? Hello?
Dude, why are you skipping out on that speech scene?
Oh, come on, Chloe. You're in on this too!
Well, yeah.
You know I'm going to say no, so why bother asking?
Just to make you crack under the pressure.
Really? And what do you have that could make me crack under pressure?
I'll send your email address to Ladybug if you don't agree to do the speech scene.
Did you know that my best friend Zeno Held made a drawing of him kissing you? I can make him draw the both of you going the extra mile. Won't be hearing from her for a while. So Alia tries to report on the multiple StoneHearts, but ends up getting trapped behind a car. And Marinette seeing her cry for help is enough to convince her.
You know what? Screw what I said earlier. I don't need to hear that.
So she opens up the box again, ends her transformation sequence here, and she saves Alia.
You can't stay here. It's too dangerous.
You would have become a hero, but nah, get to safety. We're saving you for season 2. She then throws Cat Noir's staff at the feline hero so he could break free, and saves him in the process.
Lady, have I ever told you turned my world upside down?
Clearly Cat Noir has learned all of his pickup lines from Big Time Rush. Time and place, moron!
Ain't nobody got time for that!
So they follow the StoneHearts to the Eiffel Tower where the leader stands high and mighty. The mayor demands for his daughter back, but...
I demand my daughter's safe return!
Very poor choice of words.
Help! I promise I'll be nice to everyone. Say please and thank you all the...
I didn't promise.
Oh, come on, Chloe! She better have a good redemption arc next season. Ladybug and Cat Noir step in and try to discourage the cops from attacking, but Roger tells Ladybug to move aside because clearly she's nothing but a failure.
If I'd captured StoneHeart Sakuma the first time around, none of this would have happened. I knew I wasn't the right one for this job.
And you still... No, I'm not going to make that remark. Gotta keep my sanity in check, and gotta keep my credibility. Cat Noir comforts her and tells her that without her, the mayor's daughter would have been as good as dead, and less Akumas would have been caused. Well, kind of. And they'll prove Roger wrong. Now, my inner huntsman may be furious over this, but truth be told, I actually kind of like this moment. It shows off Cat Noir's optimistic side, and honestly, it's kind of heartwarming. Unfortunately, after this moment, we get this scene. I'm not going to talk about this scene, and I am never going to in the future. I swear, if I talk about this scene, I am going to go on a long-winded rant that has gotten me condemned to hell and back 6 times too many, so let's just forget that I said anything and continue on with this. Oh, come on! What now?
Hello, Austin.
Marinette? But how did you...
Listen to me. I put up with your incessant remarks about my heroism, every insult, every jab, every cynicism towards us. I even had to do the Riddler's crap after you told him we were responsible for him being embarrassed. But if you're seriously going to ignore the reason why everyone sees me as their only hope in defeating Hawkmoth, you've got another thing coming. So I don't care how harsh your rant is just to talk about my speech, or else I'll hunt you down and take your Miraculous back and purify your Akuma and strangle you! So, do you have a deal?
Is Adrien with you?
Yeah, why do you ask?
Never made it as a wise man.
Goodbye!
Works every time. So after that scene, the duo make it to the Eiffel Tower and StoneHeart commands his brethren to surround them. After a bit of planning, they realize Milan is in the same hand that's holding the stone, and decide the only thing to do is bring them closer together. Saving the two with the power of love. It's so cheesy, but I love it anyway, so screw the Cheese Whiz haters. They make it to the top and Ladybug uses her lucky charm, and what takes something this time?
A parachute? What am I supposed to do with this?
She then uses her yo-yo to force Milan to kiss StoneHeart. Probably the cutest villain kiss in Miraculous history, at least until this becomes canon. Cat Noir bats the stone to Ladybug and she breaks it, releasing the Akuma. Insert status... Oh! They actually changed things up this time. Cat Noir cataclysms the Eiffel Tower, creating a... Oh, wait a minute! Ladybug is supposed to have the power of creation, not that guy! The Eiffel Tower should have been destroyed by that! Ladybug grabs Milan, catches the Akuma, and parachutes to the ground safely. Release the Akuma, turn everything back to normal, and then...
Yeah! It's beautiful and amazing! It's...
Just say it.
It's...
out! He said it! We can go home now! Gift bags at the door!
Another day, another attack, another victory for the Miraculous duo. What, you expect me to add something to that? It's the Origins episode. I don't have to add. So Milan and Ivan finally fall in love, which might as well segue into the one part of the Origins that I neglected to talk about. No, not that scene! I'm talking about Marinette and Adrien's relationship. You would assume that when he made it to school, Marinette would immediately fall for him, right? Well, no. In fact, she flat out hates him in the beginning, thinking that he, Sabrina, and Chloe were trying to prank her with a piece of gum when Adrien was just trying to clean up Chloe's mess. And because Adrien has been friends with Chloe for some reason, he can't just throw her under the bus. Still, Nino is there to tell him he should start making new friends. But Adrien's not allowed to go to school, and after disobeying him, Gabriel pretty much forbids him from going to that school.
You will never, I say never, go back there again.
So yeah, that is never gonna happen.
Without your bodyguard.
Okay, never mind! So once they head back to school, Marinette and Nalia sit in Chloe and Sabrina's spot, and when they arrive, Marinette's...
All that is necessary for the triumph of evil is that good people do nothing. It means that I'm not putting up with your crud anymore, Chloe, and neither is anyone else around here, so take your attitude and go on, get lost!
Man, I have never seen Marinette this blunt. Even in the episodes that are set after this, she is never usually this blunt unless she's Ladybug.
I take it back!
Of course, Marinette still hates Adrien, but after Nino gives him the courage to talk to her, we get what might just be the most memorable scene in the entire Origin special, if not the entirety of Season 1. You guys know exactly what I'm talking about. Seriously, you cannot talk about this episode without bringing up the umbrella scene, and quite frankly, I don't think I need to add anything onto this. It looks beautiful, the musical piece behind it is beautiful, it does an amazing job at establishing Marinette as the klutzy, love-struck Dorkosaurus we know and love.
Whatever, she's just a friend.
And Adrien as the oblivious cinnamon roll we know and love as well. To paraphrase one of my friends on Twitter, Marinette is moron sexual and Adrien is her moron. Not to mention, for a closing scene in a finale, it's just plain adorable. Seriously, I can't say anything else about this scene other than go and watch it. It's just as amazing as the fans say it is, and it's a great way to wrap up Season 1. And then Master Fu and Waves look on, happy with their decision, saying they were made for each other, ending the episode, as well as putting an end to Season 1 of Miraculous Ladybug. So those were the Origins episodes. How do they... Oh my God. No matter how hard I try, it never seems to go away.
Another minute as a last word. I keep playing as a broken steel. Tired of living like a blind man. I'm sick aside without a sense of feeling. And this is how you remind me. This is how you remind me of I really am. This is how you remind me of I really am. It's not like you to say sorry. I won't think not that even story. This time I'm mistaken for writing you out of a break. And I've been wrong to the bottom of every bottle. These 5 words in my head scream my way out and
Fine. Fine. I'll talk about you. Okay. I saved this scene for last. Because by itself, it's not a bad scene. But if you put this into context, it's the textbook reason as to why the Miraculous duo, particularly Ladybug, infuriate me.
This is your official warning. While some of my opinions have been exaggerated to the extreme, these opinions still hold some truth, and I do kind of agree with them, so I highly suggest you click on the timestamps or click away from this video. Because put it simply, you're not gonna like what I have to say. And another thing I need to make clear is that just because I hold some of these opinions, it doesn't really mean I hate Ladybug and Cat Noir. Yeah, I hold a strong vendetta against them, but I don't truly hate them. And I'll explain why after this rant is over. That said, let's talk about the speech scene.
So, right before the big fight, StoneHeart pukes out a bunch of Akumas which form a hologram of Hawkmoth's head that they can somehow communicate with for some reason.
Because it's magic?
Shut up, Ladybug, I'm not in the mood! And Hawkmoth tells the duo to surrender because they've caused enough damage to the city. I want you to keep this in mind. Had the duo just surrendered their Miraculouses, had they just given up right then and there, then every single episode that we have looked at wouldn't have happened. Ladybug and Cat Noir wouldn't be the heroes of Paris, their identities would have been revealed, nobody else would be akumatized, and I wouldn't be making this marathon. Everything that has happened could have been avoided if they've just given up. But Ladybug isn't having any of that.
Nice try, Hawkmoth, but we know who the bad guy is. Let's not reverse the roles here. No matter how long it takes, we will find you, and you will hand us your Miraculous!
I know I'm taking a page right out of Linkara's Holy Terror review, but...
You know, as a doctor, I rarely root for the disease, but with you, I find myself cheering, go hypercalcemia with underlying MEN syndrome. Go, go, go!
So Ladybug charges towards the Hawkmoth head and purifies all of the Akumas which can fit in her tiny yo-yo for some reason. You know what? Screw it! Why am I even building it up? Just play the clip!
Let me make this promise to you. No matter who wants to harm you, Ladybug and Cat Noir will do everything in our power to keep you safe.
Yes! Wow, whoever she is beneath that mask, I love that girl.
Now, if you're familiar with my channel, you're probably aware of all the constant shade that I throw at the duo for all of their stupid actions. And you probably think that it's just the villain persona taking over, and I don't actually mean the threats or insults that I've thrown at the duo, right? Oh no, I was kind of serious. Now, granted, some of the remarks and insults are exaggerated just to make me seem more insane, much like this one, but really, the core opinions that I have with Ladybug and Cat Noir being insufferable, yeah, they kind of hold true. But you should come to expect this from me. I mean, like I said in my Puppeteer review, I prefer villains over heroes, not just because it's nice to see the heroes always win mentality get pushed aside if not thrown off a cliff. It's also because the villains are more interesting or the heroes are more obnoxious. Now that's not to say I am incapable of liking a superhero, hating a supervillain, or feeling guilty for supporting a supervillain. But generally, if I had to pick between heroes and villains, yeah, I am going to lean towards bad guys any day of the week. However, the main reason why I hold such a grudge against Ladybug, aside from this, which I will touch base on, kind of circles back to why she gave up at the end of the first part of the Origins episode. She's more of a super screw-up than a superhero. And the main reason as to why this scene infuriates me, aside from what Cat Noir says, because trust me, that's the least of our worries, is because if you were to put this scene into context, like, put this scene before every single episode that we have covered throughout this marathon, and while you're at it, throw some quotes from the Origin episode into that mix, you start to see how Marinette becoming the hero of Paris was a big mistake. What Ladybug did in this scene is something I can't bash her for. It was brave of her to sacrifice part of her normal life to keep Paris safe, and it's the first step towards her development. I can most certainly respect that. But what I will not respect her for is that after she made her promise, she constantly puts people in danger over and over again. Which leads into probably the most controversial thing I will ever say on this channel, and the main reason why I've been crucified so many times by Miraculous and other people alike. You wanna know why I constantly bring attention to every single time Marinette causes an Akuma? It's not just because she's the hero of Paris, but it's also because of one simple statistic. Marinette has been the cause of a majority of Akuma attacks in the entire season. And if you're going to say that Chloe has been the cause of the majority, no. While Chloe is unlikable, she only really caused maybe 4 or 5. Julika, Rose, Milen, Sabrina, and partially Alia. Nathaniel is more or less his own fault, while Chloe made it worse, judging by what Hawkmoth says. Kind of. I'm not really sure. And Roger Cobb was mostly due to Plague and the mayor's incompetence as a father and his abuse of power. Ladybug, on the other hand, caused more than that. How many? 9. 9 Akuma attacks, and at least 5 or 6 of them were a direct result from her. I would say she was partly to blame for Theo turning into Copycat, but it could have been avoided if Cat Noir didn't try to make him jealous. And sure, Chloe was responsible for Kim, Alex, and even Marinette's uncle for being akumatized, but if you were to go back and watch those episodes, who was the one who led them to Chloe's antics? That's right! The blue-haired idiot herself! Now, to be fair, me blaming Marinette for Timebreaker was more of a joke than anything, at least for the first timeline. In the second timeline, it was definitely her fault.
It's all Ladybug's fault!
And in the latter two, she even confirms that it was her fault!
And I was the one who told Kim to do it! I never should have riled up Chloe!
It's not just those 3. Like I said, she was the direct cause of 6 of them! Or maybe 5. I'm still bouncing around on whether Marinette was the direct cause for the second coming of StoneHeart, or if she was even the cause at all. On one hand, she encouraged Ivan to go for Milen. On the other, Ivan came up with the idea and caused Milen to run away. The other 5? Oh, I could place the blame squarely on the moron sexual parasite! She had to give Manon the Lady Wi-Fi doll to turn her into Puppeteer. She had to beat Max and turn him into the gamer just so she can be with her smarty, hottie, suavissimo, yummy-tastic spellbinder. She called Chloe a liar and didn't listen to her, turning her into Antibug. She flat out accused Santa of being a villain, which caused him to turn into one, and nearly ruined Christmas for all of Paris. And need I mention what she did to Lila? She not only akumatized her, she essentially antagonized her, adding more to what she has to deal with on top of Hawkmoth, job, her social life, her family life, her education, her crush on Adrien, and everything else in between. Now, I would harp on Cat Noir, but I'm able to cut him a bit more slack because, well, he's the first character I ever saw from this series, and I'm a biased little fanboy. But also because he only managed to cause one Akuma, that being Theo when he turned him into Copycat, as I said earlier. But that doesn't mean I can't harp on him. I could easily go for his puns, but those aren't really much of an issue. For one, he gets captured and possessed in way too many episodes. It almost makes you wonder why he doesn't just give up and join his father. The other thing mostly stems from his relationship with Ladybug. Now, it's clear that the two were made for each other, and I do want them to fall in love by the end of the series, but considering all the times Ladybug denies his feelings and puts him in danger, not to mention the fact that he was right there when Ladybug caused 3 of the aforementioned Akumas, I almost feel bad for the kitty. Mostly because he has to work with Ladybug. He has to put up with all of her flaws because without her, basically all of Paris would be screwed. But note that I said that I almost feel bad for him. Because what sucked all of that sympathy is he doesn't even care! He just ignores her constant denial and keeps pursuing her, trying to win over her heart. He doesn't care if the lady he loves turned Santa Claus evil or if she's stubborn or not. In fact, Cat Noir doesn't just love her in spite of her stubbornness, he loves her because of her stubbornness. Think that I'm crazy? Look at what he said in Volpina.
That stubbornness, it's so irresistible.
Yeah, good call on that. Now, to go back to Ladybug, I do have to give credit where credit is due. She at least takes responsibility for her own actions and does apologize to those she akumatized. Not all of them forgive her, but it's at least nice to see her try and fix the situation. And considering her quick thinking and lucky charm powers, she actually does do a good job in that area. I mean, her power literally fixes all the damage from the fight and even little things that might have caused the Akuma attack. So while Ladybug is a bit problematic, I can at least respect her for trying to keep Paris safe, and she does try her hardest to clean up all of the mistakes that she has made. However, all of that respect goes right out the window when I'm reminded of what exactly she did to me! Okay, I hate to bring up the Momocon incident again because it's not really canon, but I don't care. I'm bringing up this scene anyways because aside from being the spark that caused this event somehow illustrates why exactly I hold strong feelings for the duo. And looking back on it, had I tried to reveal their identities in the show, they probably would have done something like this. Okay, I would have expected Ladybug to be the one to shout out "alright, next." But given Cat Noir's extreme loyalty to Ladybug, there's a fair chance he would have done it to protect her. Even though she's completely stubborn, takes way too much pleasure out of seeing people act like complete idiots, is a complete idiot herself, is kind of egocentric, does not think about the consequences of her actions, nor does she consider the emotions of others, especially her partner, and even scolds the liars while lying to everyone she knows and loves to keep her identity a secret! Oh yes, people! I've been working my way up to this joke! Remember what Ladybug said in Volpina?
I don't put up with lies, especially when they're about me.
Well, Ladybug, tell me, do any of these lies count?
She hasn't forgotten about you, Mano. How did you know my name? Marinette told me. Yesterday, somebody didn't have her textbook in class. I left it at home. You know I always forget my stuff.
Ladybug in action! Hang on, because we're going for a ride!
You won't believe this. I got mummified. I got transformed into a knight.
So did I. What a nightmare.
No, of course not. I had to take my dog to the vet because he ate an entire wool sweater.
Monday morning, absent from PE.
I was in study hall.
Friday evening, absent from study hall.
Oh, I was at PE. Cat? Right. Rare hairless flying species from Kingdom of Achu. I was allowed to have one because I won a zoo tap dancing contest when I was in the Kingdom of Achu.
I know heroes are flawed, it's what makes them human, but in Ladybug's case, her own flaws make her go from slightly obnoxious to unbearable. The biggest one that stands out is how she doesn't think about the consequences of her actions before doing them, which is probably the reason why all of these Akumas keep on happening. And that's why this scene bothers me. Again, I don't think what Ladybug did was despicable, but looking at the damage she'll cause after this moment just makes me feel like she's a bigger threat than Hawkmoth. Yeah, there's the possibility that Hawkmoth could destroy all of Paris with the Miraculouses, but if you took my theory about his intentions into consideration, could you blame me for wanting to side with this guy? You know, maybe Marinette had the right idea when she gave up being the hero of Paris. She even stated that she was going to keep making mistakes. She knew that she was going to be a screw-up.
I'm not cut out to be a superhero. I'm only gonna keep messing up.
And even Hawkmoth was onto something when he told the heroes of Paris to give up because, yeah, they cause enough damage as is. I mean, I'm sure he was intending to manipulate the civilians of Paris, but still, he had a point. Like I said, if the duo just gave up right then and there, then Ladybug wouldn't have caused more damage, and none of this bullcrap would have happened. But no, she had to tell everyone that she was the good guy. And in the end, what did she accomplish? Damaging her school record, getting in a complicated love square, being friends with a news reporter, obsessed with finding out the hero's identity, a lot more Akuma attacks, some of which caused by her and the mayor's daughter, and embarrassing, akumatizing, and antagonizing a poor United States critic in real life. Our freaking hero, ladies and gentlemen! No! Screw it! They're not heroes! They're anything but heroes! They're masters of society! They're the main evil in all this! They're the reason as to why Hawkmoth is akumatizing every single civilian in Paris, and why that city is in constant danger! I feel like I'm the only person who notices this, but I'm bringing attention to it because this is a colossal problem! We need to be paying attention to all of their actions and making sure that they never do anything like what you've just seen again! These are the kinds of heroes you just can't trust! And to Ladybug and Cat Noir, especially you, Ladybug, if you just so happen to say this and still want to call yourselves heroes, then you need to do one of two things! One, think before you freaking do! Or number two, which is my personal recommendation, just get up already! Hello? Austin, I am so sorry I made you do that scene. Oh my god, what are we going to do? ASLB is done! Now, I know from the sound of this, it seems like I hate Ladybug and Cat Noir and everything they stand for. But in an ironic twist, that isn't the case. I mean, if it really was, I would have done my best to avoid this series and everything associated with it. I know that's crazy for me to say after that episode I had, but truth be told, there are definitely some things I like about the duo. For Cat Noir, I love his personality, his fighting style, and his character. And for Ladybug, like I said, I like how she takes responsibility for her actions. I like how she tries her hardest to fix her mistake. I love how strong and occasionally funny she is, and I do find her relatable in some areas. More specifically, her flaws. I know I complained about this flaw at length in a rant that I myself am not proud of, but the truth is, I myself make mistakes like she has, and I'm not going to get into specifics because
I just want to keep it personal. And one of my biggest flaws is I don't really think about my actions before I do them. And just when I think I fixed this issue, it comes back to remind me that I've got a long way to go before, like, it's completely gone. And I know that it's hypocritical of me to bash Marinette for a flaw that I personally share, but even I bash myself for making a kind of mistake that she would make. So I'm not safe from myself either. That's kind of why I can't call Ladybug and Cat Noir bad characters per se. I mean, yeah, they may annoy me sometimes, but they aren't really terrible or unrelatable characters, and I do want to see Marinette develop. I don't want her to be like me throughout the entire series. That's what this series is for me. Like, back in my Bubble review, I said that I loved this series and hated it at the same time. This is kind of what I mean by that. I may get annoyed by plenty of moments from this series, but it has a certain charm that keeps me coming back to it and supporting it, as well as the people behind it. And despite this scene annoying me to no end when placed right before every single episode that we have looked at throughout this marathon, these are honestly the best episodes of Miraculous Ladybug so far! I'm serious! I know I said that the speech scene was infuriating in hindsight, but again, that was only in hindsight. And even then, it's still a great scene in an incredible origin story. Yeah, StoneHeart is pretty lacking for a villain, but as a first villain, he does his job well, and he has a pretty amusing personality. All of the strengths of a typical Miraculous episode are here, but what really makes these episodes the greatest is how it introduces its characters, the heroes, and their relationships. These are not just how you do an origin story, but how you do episodes of Miraculous Ladybug. These episodes are without question must-watch episodes for any person getting into Miraculous. But take my advice, save these episodes for last after you finish Volpina. These episodes were made to be finales, not just because of the way they are presented, but because they do what a season finale should do. Answer enough questions to leave us satisfied, leave some questions unanswered to keep us wanting more, and give us a satisfying conclusion to a great series. And let's be honest, this is a much better note to end on than this. And that's all I have to say about it. Wait. That's it. I think that's all. It's over. I'm done. I've officially finished Miraculous. I'm finally free. I mean, okay, it may have taken 2 years or something, but I don't care. I did it. And I can finally be happy with... Oh. Right. Yeah, this has a Netflix release. And, well, just to let you guys know, I've only seen 10 episodes from this season, and I have yet to write a single review for one of them. Well, okay, I did write one review for one episode. That episode being... Yeah, I'm going to get to that much later. So I guess the only way to end this review is to circle back to what I asked when I began this marathon. What is it about Miraculous Ladybug that people love so much? You know what? I don't think I could come up with a clear answer. I know that seems like a cop-out, but that just goes to show how great this series is. Miraculous may not be original by any means, nor is it perfect by any means. But what makes it so special is the passion that was put into it, and how entertaining these episodes can be, even if they were written in only 3 months.
It's well animated, the characters are relatable, it has a nice sense of humor, it has great action scenes, each episode tells an interesting story for the most part, the villain of the day structure makes the series formulaic but not monotonous, the love square draws people in, keeping them anxious for the day that they find out the truth and fall in love. The villains are interesting in both a good and bad sense. You see what I mean? There are so many reasons to like this show, I don't even know where to begin. Again, it isn't perfect. Sometimes the logic isn't consistent, the heroes can be obnoxious from time to time, though that's mostly a me problem. And again,
everybody's an idiot except for me.
And you only need to look at this episode to see what I mean. But again, none of these issues get in the way of my enjoyment for the series. If a series like this can annoy me to no end and still find a way to draw me in, that's when you know you succeeded. So what are you waiting for? Give this series a shot! You can watch this series on Netflix, you can buy all 4 volumes on DVD if you don't have Netflix, or you can get all of season 1 in a single package. You'd be missing out on some additional content, but I wouldn't blame you. Now, why did I buy this even though I have all 4 volumes? Because I am crazy. No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
And as of now, Miraculous Ladybug has finally made its way home onto Disney Channel in the US, so if you ever get the chance, be sure to check it out there.
Look, just go watch this series. It won't be for everyone, but if you're willing to give it a chance, you might find something special in it. It truly is miraculous. Well, that ends the review, but I am not done with season 1 just yet. I have one more video to make before I can go on to the next season. Assuming people want me to cover the next season. But until then, this is ASLB, and I've got nothing else to say other than thank you guys so much for sticking around with me throughout this marathon. Have a great life, stay miraculous, and see ya! Yeah!
So, that's what you think of me? Well then, I think it's time you found out what we think of you, Huntsman.